Hey, what's up? It's Jared. Welcome to State of Tech Fridays. Today we have some different things to talk about. So you may have noticed that we've been uploading some additional videos. Now we have been trying to create stuff on a daily basis, and we're going to try to continue to do that. So just to recap kind of what this week has looked like, Monday we start off with kind of an app of the week. Might be an iPhone app, might be an Android app, or it might be cross-platform, but we're going to talk about an app on Monday. Tuesday is iPhone Tip Day. It may be a tip, it may be some sort of news or interesting information about the iPhone, but Tuesday is iPhone Day. Wednesday, we will review some sort of a product or talk about a product or service or something that is mobile related. Thursday is Android Tip Day. Same thing as iPhone, except Thursday's Android Day. And then Friday, we talk about the news or what's gone on this week in mobile, or maybe we got a new device, such as today with the Galaxy Note 7. And so we're going to talk about some of that stuff today. So on State of Tech, we're all about mobile. We like to talk about mobile and live that mobile lifestyle. And that means going and getting new devices right when they came out, such as the Note 7 that came out today. Now, I had a frustrating situation. I had actually pre-ordered this device with Best Buy because I wanted to get their Gear Fit 2 special that they had, which I thought was a pretty good promotion. And I got an email bright and early this morning saying that my Galaxy Note 7 was going to be delayed and I would not get it for maybe up to 30 days. It said that my order should be received within 30 days. That's an awful long time to tell somebody you're not going to get your pre-order. So I was a little frustrated with that. So I go down to the AT&T store to pick up a Galaxy Note 7, and I did in fact get one. They did only have the silver in stock, which was not the color I was looking for, but I did have a silver S7 Edge in the past, and I liked that. I just kind of wanted the black one this time around. But nonetheless, my impulses led me to purchase the phone right away, and here we have that phone. Now, a video that we released yesterday or the day before yesterday, I sat here and talked about how I have been using a small phone and maybe small phones are better. And I made that whole argument of how large phones have gotten. And my iPhone SE that I've been using for a while now has been a great phone to use, to carry with me. It's been nice and small, keeps out of the way. And, you know, I talk about that in the video. So if you're interested in my thoughts on smaller phones, definitely check out that video. We'll make sure to link to it in the description below this video. But I now have in front of me a Note 7, which is a huge phone in comparison to the iPhone SE. And so now I'm going to be using this Note 7 for a little while so that I can come back and do a full review of the device. I know a lot of other people have been putting out reviews, but I feel like you need to spend a little bit of time with a device before you could put out a review. Not just a few hours or a few days, but at least a good week. And that's what I plan to do. So I'm going to spend a bit of time with this Note 7. It's going to be a huge adjustment for me because I'm going from having this tiny, very pocketable phone to a much larger phone with the Note 7, but I'm pretty excited to spend some time with the Note 7 and live that big phone life again for a little while. Interesting thing, and the reason that I have my AT&T receipt here is the way that they have been ringing people up for these phones. Now, I was looking at my receipt and it said, and I just bought one phone and a case. And it said my subtotal was $1,799.98. And I thought, why would it be so much? Like, I'm buying one phone. That might be the price for, say, two phones or whatnot. And so I thought it was kind of confusing, so I asked for clarification. Now, on this receipt, it looks like what they did was sign me up for a next plan and then pay off that phone in full price right away. So, you know, what AT&T does with their next plan is it's kind of like being able to make payments on your phone. Some call it leasing a phone because you have the option to turn it in for a new phone after a year. Some call it just, you know, like a regular loan. But you can make payments on your phone instead of buying it outright with AT&T Next. Pretty much all the other carriers are doing that now too. And T-Mobile's been doing that for ages. So with this receipt, it was really confusing to me because it looked like they were charging me for a phone and charging me for a full Next package, which was really confusing. So as I get further down the receipt, it shows that I actually have a payment for the phone from my phone number and then a payment for the phone from my debit card. So it's just really confusing to me. I don't know if what AT&T is trying to do is maybe boost the amount of numbers that they have for Next plans, and they can say, we have, so many people that have done our Next plan. Maybe the store individually gets more bonus points for people for signing up people on a Next plan, even if they pay it off in that exact moment. I have no idea. But the salesman told me they've been getting lots of questions about it, and it's that way for all the phones that they sell. They've been doing it that way lately. So it's just really confusing. So if you're an AT&T customer and you go into a store and buy a phone and the receipt looks really weird, I guess that's normal. I didn't get charged more than I should have for the phone, but it just looks really weird. So I don't know what they're trying to do. But let me know in the comments below if you had a similar situation. If you went to go and buy a phone and the subtotal was just like some crazy dollar amount and it was confusing, maybe the salesperson told you something different. Let me know what that is in the comment section below this video so I have a little bit more clarity on that. So with a new phone like this Note 7 comes needing some new accessories because it is a USB-C type connector on the bottom of the phone. Now, it's not the first phone to have that. There's been some other Android phones that have the USB style connector, but I still have a whole bunch of micro USB cables. So what in the heck am I going to do with all those cables? Well, I picked up from Anker a couple of these little adapters, and they basically have micro USB on the bottom and USB-C on the top. And so I can continue to use all of my cables, still have the reversible nature of the USB-C, just by using this nice little adapter. So that's great. I mean, USB-C cables aren't too expensive, but I'm not really ready to let go of all of the micro USB cables that I have because I still have a lot of devices that charge using micro USB. And so this little adapter is a fantastic addition. Now, Anker also has these nice cables that come in this little pouch, and I went ahead and picked up a standard USB to USB-C cable, a little bit more durable one, so something that I can keep in my car and keep my phone charged. So I'm pretty excited to have a new cable in my car. All of my cables up until now have just been basic black USB, micro USB cables, nothing too exciting. And so that's gonna be kind of nice to have a new cable in the car. But Anker has some pretty nice products. They're inexpensive, they're good quality. I've been pretty impressed with them so far. So with the Note 7, let's just briefly talk about what's good about this phone. Now, they've kind of redesigned a lot about the phone. I have it in a case, and I did put it in a case, a big phone, which is already large, putting into a case, which means it's gonna make it even larger. I just can't set my phone on surfaces. I feel like, between our fingerprints getting all over our phones and then the random surfaces throughout the world, setting my phone down on surfaces, I would have to be hyper aware of what I'm setting my phone down on. And I don't know why it's different for me when a case is on my phone. It doesn't bother me as much. I think it's because I don't mind wiping a case off with like an alcohol swab or something like that. But my phone, I feel like I want to protect that. And then scratches, I also don't like getting my device scratched up. I know there are some of you out there that are like me in that respect, that maybe you have a little bit of OCD with your phone. You want to keep it looking as nice as possible, and even putting it in a case, which kind of hides the beautiful design and all that stuff. But nonetheless, putting it in a case for me means less fingerprint smudges all over the device and less grimy stuff from other surfaces. I have 3 small kids, keep in mind as well, and when they grab my phone, usually their hands are covered in something, and being able to just wipe down a case is much nicer than having to wipe down my entire phone and have, their grimy little fingers all up in all the ports and stuff like that. So for me, cases have always been the way to go. So are you pro case, against case on your device? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to see what you guys think as far as that goes. So in other news, obviously there's been a lot of leaks leading up to these new devices that are coming out, especially over on the iPhone side. There's just been a lot of talk about what is coming with the iPhone 7, different sizes, different renditions of the phone. Is it going to have dual cameras or single camera? It sounds like a for certain that it's not going to have a headphone jack, that it probably will just have a lightning port jack on the bottom only, and then it will come with a lightning adapter to headphone adapter. So that'll be interesting because, you won't necessarily, if the adapter is just that, you're not going to be able to charge your phone and listen to music at the same time, unless you probably go and buy an adapter that I would assume Apple will come out with, which allows you to charge your device and use headphones at the same time. It is my opinion, and you may agree with me and you might not, that Apple makes more money on their accessories, like their adapters, than they make on their other stuff. I mean, their adapters and their cables are not cheap. I mean, I bought this cable right here for $9, and it came with a nice little case. If you buy a lightning cable for your phone, it's going to cost you $20 to $30 depending on the length. That's a lot of money for a cable that really is no different, in the technology. So for me, I think, that Apple's making a smart play because they're going to be able to sell a lot more adapters and stuff like that. People are going to want adapters that do multiple things. They're going to be able to want to use their headphones that they had already. And then, the Bluetooth headphones, that's also a push towards that. Apple owns Beats Music, and they have a lot of Bluetooth headphones, and people are going to want a Bluetooth headphone that's a little bit better than the ones that will probably end up coming with the iPhone. So the only alternative there is to go and buy better headphones, and you can buy Beats headphones right from Apple. So it's obviously a play, not necessarily in convenience for us as consumers, but Apple once again trying to push technology forward like they have in the past. They've done it in the past, like when they switched from the 30-pin connector to the Lightning connector. And there's been different things that Apple has done over time, even with their computers, such as not selling any of their computers now with a CD bay or like a CD-ROM drive. Those are gone. And so Apple does this every couple of years. They remove something that we are used to probably sell more adapters, but also to kind of move technology forward a little bit. Because that all of the other companies like Samsung will probably end up following suit. It will be only maybe a year or two before we don't see a headphone jack on some of these other manufacturers' phones as well. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. If you're iPhone, iPad, iOS user, let me know what you think about the possibility of not having a headphone jack. I really, to me, think that it would kind of be a bummer because my vehicles that I drive don't do Bluetooth audio, so I would need an adapter right out the gate in order to use my devices in my car. So that's kind of a bummer, and those types of things, I think a lot of you out there will probably feel as well, because until, we all go and buy new cars that have Bluetooth audio built in, and we go buy, headphones that are Bluetooth and all that stuff, we're going to be using adapters, and Apple's going to make lots of good money off of selling all those adapters to us. So let me know what your thoughts on that are. I might sound a little more skeptical than you are on your thoughts, and I'd love to hear what you think about that. So let me know in the comments below. So that's going to do it for today's video. Make sure to subscribe because we have a whole slew of new videos coming out next week, as well as eventually my Note 7 review. I also am going to do a full video on the iPhone SE because I think it is a fantastic choice for those of you out there who feel that big phones are just too much, too large, and you want something that's small, powerful, and gets the job done, and actually is a little bit cheaper. So make sure to subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it. Thanks a lot. Hope you have a good weekend, and we'll see you next time on State of Tech.